Imagine riding through the valley or the high mountain road, or somewhere along the ocean where the motor wants to go. You've been talking about this day forever. Now you know it's time to take that ride down the road, the one that'll ease your mind. Places that you've never seen before, on the Ultimate Motorcycle Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Mike's Ultimate Motorcycle Show. I'm Mike Anthony Jones, your host. Let's get this show on the road. Hey everybody, welcome. You're about to meet one of the coolest couples ever, Evie and Judy Chester. I got a chance to sit down and talk with them about their love for riding and their love for competition riding. Now, Evie and Judy Chester took on 300 of the toughest motorcycle racers in the world in the toughest motorcycle race on the planet called the Hoka Hay. Nearly 10,000 miles in 10 days. How does somebody do something like that? I have no idea. By the end of the race, there was only 100 of them left standing. 200 of them couldn't even hang in there. And Evie and Judy came in the top 20. Now, did I mention they were in their 70s? Yeah, that's right, in their 70s. Now, don't be fooled by Evie's Southern gentleman, easygoing kind of style, or Judy's very, very regal disposition. These are some very tough people, and you're about to get a lesson in what it takes in order to make it through such an endurance race like this and the taxing on your body and on the machines and everything that it takes. Sit back and get a lesson in riding. Meet Evie and Judy Chester. You guys have done some endurance riding. I believe you participated in what is probably considered the toughest ride out there today when it comes to distance and endurance, and maybe you could tell me a little bit about the last run you were on and how you guys decided you'd go out and do this together. And doing this together, I think, is truly an amazing thing. But please,
it's amazing we're still together.
That's right. That's fantastic. Well, maybe the family that rides together stays together, and that's hopefully what we can see out of that. But truly, you're right. There's nothing like riding. There's an exhilaration and a sense of freedom in that you just don't find anywhere else. So,
well, I think that we both rode casually, if you would. Not that we didn't ride miles, because we did. But for whatever reason, we got into challenging the riding. And we participated 3 times in the Hoka Hay. 10, or we went over that the other day. I'm sorry, 14. We took a little break there for a while, and that's actually how we met.
amazing.
We were leaving from Phoenix, and I was going to ride to Key West by myself.
Wow.
And the people that put the event on put me in contact with EB, and I rode from Phoenix to Key West with he and 2 other gentlemen, and then I was scheduled to ride with another gentleman when I got down there, and long and short, we made it over 6,000 miles, not counting the miles to get to Key West, and he sadly had to stop his participation in that. He's okay, it wasn't an accident. And then the next year, I rode with EB, and it was not quite double the miles. It was over 13,000 mile ride.
That's truly amazing.
And we made it 10,000 miles, and then...
In about 10 days.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's really what I want to kind of get into, the heart and soul of that. It's just, I love to ride, but it's a little hard for me to wrap my head around putting 1,000 miles a day on a bike, or close to it even.
Well, and you're not doing that on freeway. You're doing that all back roads.
Well, that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, right. And in many cases, on Indian reservations and other places where the roads aren't even marked. It's a lot of pathfinding involved.
Yeah, very vague directions. You can't use GPS, you can't have outside help, you can't get a ticket, you have to sleep with your bike.
And they have GPSs on the bike, so they're tracking you, fleet trackers.
They know where you're at.
You can't use it, but because it's not set up that way, but they know exactly where you are, and so you got to follow the route.
Right.
So the last one that you did, how many miles was that ride? The last
It was 13, plus thousand
No,
miles.
the last one.
Oh, the last ride?
year.
It was just about 8,000 miles, and you had 14 days to do it, and we completed it in 10 and a half.
Amazing. So, I mean, and what did you ride when you did the run?
We both rode Road Kings.
Road glides.
Glides, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Gee, what is it? I've got both.
It's a lot more comfortable than I imagine than riding bikes
Thank
that are
you.
not equipped for the road.
We set up our bikes very carefully, and it takes quite an effort to get the ergonomics just right.
Oh yeah.
But the difference between a little bit of reach and
Oh,
a
that
little
matters.
bit of flex, it's a big deal.
It really matters.
We can ride, maybe not 1,000-mile days, we can ride an 800-mile day and not want to quit when we get through. We're not ready to
That's a
quit.
lot of hunger. That's a lot of hunger to ride.
I mean, that is true.
Right.
yeah.
But it's been an experience just learning how to pack, what to not bother to take,
to
because
pack is key.
it's a waste of space. You got too much weight.
Sure,
You're
sure.
packing it around. We've learned a lot by how we do travel. We've done iron butts together. We've done 4 corners of the United States. We've done Three Flags, which is Mexico, Canada, or United States, Canada. We've done that 2 or 3 times, I think.
3 times, I think.
Yeah.
Must feel really great to actually be able to put that much time in the saddle and ride that much. I mean,
Well, we're blessed because we are in the business.
Right.
Motorcycle riding, like any vacation, can be expensive.
Sure.
And it's time consuming too. It's not like getting on an airplane and going to Hawaii. So you have to have the ability to be able to have some freedom with your time. And
But there is an aspect of it. You will never see the United States as you see it in the back of a motorcycle.
you are reading my mind just
When
now.
you go
isn't it?
into small towns at lunch and look for the pickup trucks on Main Street,
It's amazing.
that is where you eat lunch.
That's America.
And it is truly America. It's America to a degree that it's very hard to communicate to others about. They don't get it.
You have to ride to know what you
have
mean.
to ride
Right.
to understand
it's the
it.
smell.
Yeah.
Cut grass.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Outdoor
the mist
fire.
on your face, if
Yeah.
you feel
Yeah.
it, you're riding earlier.
In the elements.
Yeah.
To endure the elements, because it's not all fair weather.
Right.
We've ridden in some pretty ugly stuff.
Oh yeah, no, that's the challenge for sure. And to not give up in the face of the challenge,
Right.
that takes some character and some courage. And I think that's what this sort of endurance run really brings out of you.
Well, and there is an emotional factor to it too. We can't discount that. You sit on that bike 14, 16 hours a day, and your mind just processes.
Sure.
And after 10 days of that, it's wearing, and your temper, your fuse gets a little bit short and that sort of thing. And that's not to say that we bicker all the time, because we don't, but
Most of the time.
we don't have smooth rides all the time either. I mean, we've had some words just out of irritation,
Well, it's
frustration.
very hard, especially in the Hoka Hay where you didn't know where you were, and it's a challenge to keep an even temperament.
Yeah.
When things are not going wrong, they're just not going right,
Right.
and it's constant. I mean, that's what you're faced with. That's the whole program.
So
No,
your
and
favorite?
I'm dependent upon him in these cases, because EB is also a pilot, and he has a lot more directional sense than I do. Though he does let me lead. I guess he hopes I won't take the wrong road, but I think I've done that a couple times. So again, I'm dependent upon him, and that kind of takes away a little bit from me, because I want to be a participant, and I want to be a good participant, and we would get where we talk about it.
Don't leave the impression that she's dependent on me in any sense.
Oh, I wouldn't be
She
fooled by
she
this.
is not. She has been inadvertently separated from us riding on occasion, and 200, 300, 400 miles later, there she is.
Oh, that's amazing.
She doesn't lack independence in any
I'm
corner.
sure. Well,
I ask for directions. He doesn't answer
Well, there may be some differences in
directions.
approach, but she rides across the United States by herself. I mean, it's just not
That's-
nothing.
that's
to
really
ride
impressive.
from Phoenix to Key West, start to Hoka Hay is nothing. She just wanted companionship.
when we're 25 and 30 years old, we feel like we're bulletproof and made out of steel.
Right.
But this is truly amazing. Come on.
Well, we're both in our 70s.
That's what I mean.
I got enough steel in me now to where I just about am. So it's holding me together.
So this has to really take its toll. What kind of wear and tear? 8,000, 9,000 miles in 10 days. What kind of wear and tear did you feel?
I felt emotion.
Really?
Yeah,
Amazing.
I could have kept going and I would have kept going. I didn't have any problem with that. It wasn't the physical aspect of it at all. It started to become the emotional part of it, and you have to unwind from that. You just don't get off that bike and say, well, we're done now.
Right.
Let's go home.
Yeah.
It becomes, at some point, when you're riding that far, that long, it tends to become a blur.
Sure.
After a while, you start to say to yourself, well, I'm not even able to stop and enjoy what it is I see. And it starts to become kind of blurry to you. Where was I at? Where was the last gas station? It runs together.
Very interesting you should say that, because my next question was going to be, what was the most beautiful part of the ride for either one of you?
Evie and Judy Chester. Stick around because we got some asphalt burning acrobatics coming up. Not on sport bikes, but on V-twins.
Let me tell you how good my lawyer is. My motorcycle accident was the other driver's fault. The insurance company wasn't going to pay because I wasn't wearing a helmet. They said the law was against me. Well, my lawyer went to Madison and was publicly thanked by the governor for helping change the law. My lawyer got me almost $2 million. My lawyer? Michael Hupy.